Hello, good evening, and welcome to the show. Happy Valentine's Day for those of you that are watching live. So, tonight is probably the most unhinged and interesting pen show I think we're going to do. I have so much planned. We're going to try to cram it in about an hour, and I think it's going to be full of surprises and a lot of information, and it will also be kind of like a best of in a way because we're going to do a lot of what we were real successful at. Like we're going to do an unboxing, we're going to talk about some pens, we're going to do some channel notes and things, and you really want to stay tuned for this. We're going to have a special guest in studio with any luck, but yeah, I think I pulled this one off. So that should be super fun too, all in the spirit of love. It's Valentine's Day. Love is in the air. So why am I here? I'm here, guys, to inspire you to find the poetry, the art, the amazement in fountain pens, in journals, in inks. I'm here to keep you inspired. This whole channel is about beauty. It's about love, passion for these incredible items that we spend a lot of our time with. The beautiful part is I'm not a pen shop. I'm just a guy who loves pens. So I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just sharing things. So it should be a super fun journey. Looking at the comments, there's quite a few already. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. Nice to see Amy here, who I believe is our newest member. Welcome to the channel officially behind the scenes. I saw that she watched one of my recent blooper reels. I just did a video. This is a nice transition. I just did a video on my first impression of the Piniter Avatar Twin Tank Touchdown fountain pen, which is not easy to say, especially when you have the lights on you and the camera and you have that sort of delusion of observation because no one's watching you when you're filming a review. You just know that people will be watching you. And you're trying to get all these words out, and I really do try to do them in supercuts. I try not to have it too fractured. And I'm trying to describe this pen. I'm going into the particulars, especially with the opening. And I just kept messing up, and it got ridiculous. So I think it's about a 4 or 5 minute blooper reel loop of me just trying to introduce myself and to talk about this really interesting pen, which I'm not going to tell you too much about tonight because you're going to see a video on this soon, which has my first impressions and everything else. But I can tell you so far, it's a really fun journey. It's always great when you're getting to know a new pen. And it's also super exciting to fill this. I'll tell you that much. And I also made one major mistake with it. I might put that in a video, but I'll have to do it after the fact somehow. So pretty interesting stuff. So lots of fun behind the scenes too. So tonight we're going to do a lot of different stuff. I do want to give you an interesting show note. Has to do with the whole kind of Hemingway Jones thing. So a lot of you know I write articles as well, not just about fountain pens, which I also write articles about, but also about things like barber jackets and LL Bean boots and Red Wings. And actually, I don't write about Red Wings, but things like that. Filson coats, all that kind of stuff, like traditional menswear. And I write for a website and a YouTube channel called Stridewise. So if you're not subscribed to Stridewise here on YouTube, I suggest you do. And check it out on the web. There's some really interesting articles there. So Stridewise, Nick from Stridewise is coming to my house on March 4th and the 5th. And we're going to shoot a whole bunch of videos together speaking about all these different items that's going to air on his channel. So it'll be kind of fun to see a different side of me where I'm not talking about pens. I'll be speaking the same way, in the same poetic fashion, the same sort of passion and, over elaborate metaphors and things that you're used to from me. But it'll be about barber jackets and boots and things. So I think you'll really enjoy that. And as I get more details, I'll let you know. But I did want you to know that he's coming up. We're going to film for 2 solid days, and it should be super exciting. So I think you guys will really enjoy that. I'm looking at some of your comments. You guys are having your own conversations. You don't even need me, so it's pretty fun. So I do want to say a couple of things too. I want to thank Scott Lasky for sending these really cool cigar boxes, especially this one that says Hemingway. See how I would like this? And I was actually kind of, when I first saw them, I thought maybe they'd have cigars in them. I was like, whoa, we're changing. But it's for pen storage. Kind of a brilliant solution. Really lovely boxes. So very nice gesture. Thank you, Scott. And I'm a little crammed here. Sorry, guys. I have like stuff everywhere. In the same vein, since Phil Munson outed himself, I can officially thank him for sending along this beautiful snorkel pen, which I have yet to fill. But I'm going to film. I'm going to do some fun content with this bad boy. I'm really excited. I've always wanted one of these, and this is exactly the pen that I wanted. So pretty neat stuff there. Thank you guys. Very sweet. I also have a pile of letters. These came in. The correspondence is getting a little out of hand. If for some reason you don't hear from me, ping me. God forbid you fell through the cracks, but I just want to make sure you get a letter back from me, because we do letter exchanges. If you join the channel as a Cognoscenti or Illuminati member, you can exchange letters with me, and it's super fun. When was the last time you had a pen pal? So consider doing that. Here's another thing, if you don't mind. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but currently I have 4,989 subscribers, people following along in this journey. Thank you, each and every one of you. If you're watching now and you haven't subscribed, please do. Please get me to 5,000. It's just upsetting my sense of order. And I'm like, I just want to round up. So I just need 11 people. It's like a fund drive. You ever watch PBS? Where instead of money, I'm asking for subscribers. Just 11 more. We can reach our goal of 5,000 before this broadcast is over. Won't you help? Won't you? No, but sincerely, please do. It's a fun channel. This is a channel where everyone is welcome. I said last week, we are the island of misfit toys. We are all pen aficionados. We adore fountain pens, inks, journals. That's how we value you. It's in your love and your self-expression, and it's a nice community here. Whatever your background is, whoever you are, respect everyone, and we will love you. This is a very welcoming and open place. So everyone feel free to join the fun. Won't you? Although Amy D can't figure it out. I'm so sorry. If you go to the web and you put in www.youtube.com/HemingwayJones/join, it should come right up. It's also right next to the subscribe button, in case you're wondering. All right, so let me give you guys something fun, and we'll keep moving. So I want to do an unboxing. Something very exciting came in, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Now, I started opening it because I have to take my address and stuff off, as you can understand. But this is great, so I really want you guys to see this. I'm running out of room to toss things. Forgive me. Got the trusty Benchmade knife. Let's see what's in here. Some of you guys know what's in here because if you follow me on Instagram, I do sort of give heads up when I see things. Instagram got mad at me because I told people it was available and they were telling me it was sponsored. I'm like, it's not sponsored. I'm just telling people it's available because people need to know. You guys need to know these things. Oh, you don't know how much I love these. So maybe you do. So Krishna, one of my favorite ink companies, has restocked their Moonview. Now this says Moonview, but I'm pretty sure it's Moonview 2. Because if it's not, It might be in a Moonview box, but I bought it as Moonview too. But to be honest, I can't really tell the difference between the two anyway. But let's take a look and see what it looks like. All right, I'm just going to cut right through the box. So these are almost look like apothecary bottles, almost like you could give somebody like a secret potion or something. So super exciting. It's a really cool sheeny ink. So I think they're about $11 each. And they ship all the way from India, which is lovely. India is the second most visited country to this channel. I personally love fountain pens and inks and paper from India. It's one of my favorite sources for fountain pen stuffs. So super psyched to see those back in stock. And I thought I'd share some of the demographics. Would you guys be interested in that? Would you like to see some of the demographics for the channel? I screenshot them earlier, so I thought you might be interested in this. So according to this, no one under 17 watches the channel, which is probably a good idea because they should be on kids' YouTube, right? So 7.2% are between 18 and 24. Then it's pretty evenly divided, about 20% between 26 to 34, 35 to 44, 45 to 54, and 55 to 64 years old. It's about 20% for those. I mean, a little less because it would go over, obviously, right? And then for 65 plus, it's 15%. So that's kind of how we are distributed age-wise, which I think is really interesting. The Gino, you're making fun of my Benchmade because I can pull out my K-bar. But then I'd probably lose a finger. But this is nice. It's a nice Tonto blade. But anyway, here's something I'm kind of surprised at on the demographic side. The gender of this channel is 88% male. It's, self-designated. And 11.8% female. And then non-specified 0.1%. I thought that, it seems like there's more women that are out there than just 11%. Certainly in the members and the comments, it's about 50-50. So I was a little surprised about that. Unless maybe, I don't know, maybe women haven't subscribed or something. I don't know, but I was just surprised. I thought there'd be more. That's all. So kind of interesting. And I kind of feel like I realize I'm a guy, but I feel like my content is kind of nice for everyone. I don't think it's like bro-centered, right? This isn't like a bro channel. We're not, blowing things up. Or, I hate to be stereotypical, but I am a guy, so I can be stereotypical about myself. It's not like, look at this expensive pen, I'm so cool. Like, that's kind of not what we do. It's about the beauty, the poetry, the inspiration of a pen. So that's what I think. Ellie J says, I would definitely lose a finger with that knife. You do have to be careful, and I sharpen it. And it's because there's so many boxes that come in. We get so much stuff, and I'm always cutting up boxes. So here's some more demographics you might be interested in. So my viewers, 41.6% of you are in the United States, which is sort of what you would think. A Chiro fake name says, how do you know how old I am? I don't. I guess this is just from the people who have told YouTube, and they don't give specific names, just so you know. It's just, they just give you the overview. So 41.6% of people are from the United States. And the second most biggest country, India, at 5.6%. And India is just rising all the time, which I'm really psyched about because, as I said, I just love fountain pen products from India. So it's great to see that. Third is the United Kingdom, just behind them at 5.5%, which is also nice because that's kind of my second home, as you guys know. And then Canada at 4.5%, and then Germany at 2.8%. So kind of interesting. Those are my top geographies. And then I thought it might be fun if I told you guys. Coffee and Barbell says this is not a bro channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I thought you might be interested in some of the other channels that you guys watch. So I'll just read down the list. Goulet Pen Company is number one, which Goulet dominates the whole fountain pen content. If you go on YouTube and you search fountain pen, you'll get 10 results and 9 of them will be Goulet. Like, it's just so many. And then Doodlebud, Fig Boot on pens, Inquiring Minds, Pens and Tea, Yosika Stationery, Jet Pens, and Adventure Denali, one of my favorite channels, SBRE Brown, and JG3 Reviews. So those are the channels that you guys are watching, which probably should be the channels that I'm watching. But out of those, I watch Goulet, I watch Adventure Denali, and I watch Jet Pens. And I don't watch any of the others, but time will tell. Perhaps I shall. So here's another bit of show note for you guys. You guys remember these, right? These are the journals from Bottega Obscura. And I am a big fan and personal friend of the gentleman that makes these journals. And this is the latest one he made for me, which is probably the most fountain pen friendly paper he's ever used. And he sent me this as a Christmas gift, which is really lovely. Well, the big news is that his Etsy storefront has been closed for a long time because he's an artist and you can't make the guy work. He works when he wants to. But he's going to open up his Etsy storefront, but it's going to be less customizable. It's going to be more like he's going to make something, he's going to put it in the store, and you have a chance to buy it, which is great. He's trying to get a little more work-life balance. So lovely guy. He's a complete artist, and I'm excited for him to reopen his Etsy store and see what he puts up. He is very much aware of doing fountain pen friendly papers, so I'm sure there'll be nice stuff on there for us. This one is amazing. Like, I wish I could show you, but there's like no ghosting whatsoever with this. And it's just really hearty, lovely paper. Though truth be told, I don't know the specifics because this was a gift. I don't know exactly what he used, but I'm sure he'll post that once he lists these again. So super fun, super excited to see what he comes up with next. I just love how antique these feel. I love the raised bindings. He'll put your initials on there, the little bit of gold accent, and the tooling on there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Looks like it came out of some monastery. The end papers here, absolutely beautiful. Hello. So I'm just such a fan. Even the leather in the bookmark is just really supple and it's patterned. And this is not just patterned, but actually carved and grooved. So absolutely brilliant book. Huge fan. So which pen am I writing with now, you guys? Any idea? Well, I'll tell you. So this is my pen lately. The Mont Blanc Egyptomania. So it wasn't inked. And it broke my heart that it wasn't inked. And then I inked it. And I haven't been able to put it down. So I recently finished editing a video. And it's not the one on the Piniter Avatar Twin Tank Touchdown. It's one on the top 5 fountain pens for dark academia. And it was one of those videos that I put so much work in, you guys. And I took so much time to edit. I was picking the music perfectly. And I feel really strong about the pacing this time. Sometimes I feel like my pacing's a little rushed. This time I let a scene end, I let the music trail off, I have it tapering to black, and then a new section starts up, and I am so proud and so happy. I'm sure we'll see what happens when it comes out because it's different. I mean, just the idea of like what is dark academia and which would be the right fountain pens for it. It's the perfect thing for this channel. This is where I live. This is the stuff that I find extremely inspiring and interesting. Something that's a little fringe but fun and relates to who I am as a person. And then I can bring it in and tie it in with journals and fountain pens and ink. So I think you guys are going to really, really dig it as much as I do. I keep watching it myself, but I think I let sort of YouTube and the how to do YouTube videos affect me too much in the past because you can see a little bit. It's funny. If you put out a video and you have a fade to black and it lasts more than like a fraction of a second, 10% of your audience drops off. It's kind of just how YouTube works. If you give people a pause, they drop out. That's why a lot of the really successful YouTube channels, they don't stop talking and they edit out all their hesitant, pregnant pauses, all the little apprehension as they form a word. If they have any sort of a vocal tick, all that's edited out. And it's this quick staccato speech pattern. Or you ask yourself while you're watching, wow, that person hasn't taken a breath. Like, how do they do that? It's because the breaths were edited out. And the reason is that you do lose a certain percentage of your audience if you pause. So that is a fact. But there's art, and art must be served. So what are you going to serve? Commerce and attention or art? I think this channel is thoroughly invested in art. And so I've decided to kind of recommit myself to let my videos breathe. Let them have the room that they need to express themselves. And in this case, things run their courses. There's more. It becomes so emotional, guys. I found the heart in some of these moments that you just wouldn't think are there. And they just come out because you allow the music to trail off naturally and, say your subject matter to walk off purposely into the distance instead of just like cutting to the next scene. I hope I'm not losing. I hope you know what I mean. Okay, let me tell you another show note. I told you I'd be a little bit all over the place tonight, but really important, kind of a big deal, and I think you guys will be super excited about this. Gin Talus, art must be served. Indeed, truly, that's what this whole channel is. So don't let me forget that. Members, don't let me forget that, okay? Sometimes the members hear me whining about some of my errors and things, and they always set me straight. I appreciate that. So 1 week from tonight features the return of an interview show legend, the one and only Brendan Schmidt of Atlas Stationers. So prepare yourself. A week from tonight, we will have a nice heart-to-heart with Brendan Schmidt about pens. It will be lovely. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite YouTubers has dropped in. Shaq MD with a $10 donation to the channel. Thank you very much. That's very kind. I really appreciate it. Shaq MD, you guys, is one of my favorite YouTubers. He has beautiful handwriting that I just turn on and I allow YouTube to just keep playing his videos one after the other. I think he's been on YouTube for about 6 months. He's already having tremendous success. It's amazing handwriting. I also love how wet the ink is. On macro, you really see how wet ink is, and it's just a reality. My pens look like that too when you're zoomed in that closely, but I love that. It's really beautiful. So, a Chiro fake name says the TV show 24 permanently damaged my attention span. You know, it's funny though. you hate to give in to what the how to make YouTubers say, but you do see it. YouTube and their analytics show you your peaks and valleys. They'll say like this is the stuff that people replayed, and it's often really cute stuff, and it's really heartbreaking, heart like endearing, not heartbreaking, but endearing. That people like some of the really nice emotional moments. Anytime my wife is on screen, people tend to have a peak where people are like watching that a couple times. And then anytime as you speak and there's a pause or it even switches scenes, there's a drop off. And there's always a drop off when you say, thanks for watching this video. That's kind of when most people bail. And then a lot of people leave after the first 30 seconds for whatever reason. So it's kind of interesting. So Phil Munson saying good thing about ShackMD's channel. It's a great channel, guys. So highly recommend it. So I don't know where we are on subscribers because I can't see it. But if we could, trying to get the 5,000 subscribers at Showtime. We were 11 away. If you've been watching this channel, I implore you, help us meet our goal to get to 5,000 by the end of this broadcast. That would be absolutely brilliant. So I see, hey, Wolverine's here, my dear friend. How are you? John Manuel, nice to see you. Oh, this is a great question. So John Manuel says, Ali J, what is dark academia? Well, that gets answered in the video, my friend. But it's actually sort of funny. I think I spoke about this last week. I actually say arcademia. Academia is how I pronounce it. But I had to change for the video because the proper pronunciation is academia. And I do try to pronounce things properly, but as you guys know, tracking my pronunciation on any one word is a bit of a game. And if it were a drinking game, you'd be very intoxicated each time I changed it. Because for whatever reason, I'm sort of like the Christopher Walken of YouTube, and I just have my own way of speaking, and that's just the way it is. So I say dark academia, but I had to practice academia just to be proper. But so it's an aesthetic that basically is about academia. So I'm going to use it to define itself, but I don't want to take too much of the magic out. But I think if you Google it, you'll see some images, but it's really interesting and it's really cool. So I think you're going to appreciate it. So lots of fun things there. So like I said, I've been using the Egyptomania. And you know what is so seductive about this pen? The nib experience is like no other modern pen I know. It is so soft and so expressive. Also, the facets are really lovely. Do you see this as it moves? It catches in the light. It's just such an interesting pen. And I really like how it has the Mont Blanc six-sided star glacier, but it's like a riff on it in brass. And it has this really nifty scarab on the clip and the hieroglyph that says Mont Blanc on it. And I'll show you the nib too, just in case you haven't seen it. I mean, it's hard to imagine, although it hasn't really been featured on the channel in a while. So I think I'm in safe ground that maybe some of you haven't seen it. But I'll try to hold this very steady. But look at that. Look at that nib, guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Look, see the scarab? I try to shoot in 4K so you guys can pick this stuff up. So absolutely beautiful. Nice feeling pen. You can't post it though. So if that's important to you, it doesn't work. I prefer a pen that you can't post over one that posts poorly. My Visconti Mythos posts horrifically. So I prefer one that just won't, where there's no chance of it. Sort of like the Cartier Diablo, which is another pen I'd like to bring back to the channel very, very soon. So pretty exciting stuff. Lots of comments. Trying to keep up on your comments is getting more and more difficult, but I'm very happy to see. Shintalis says that pen is exquisite. Oh, Chris Sands. I don't know if I'm saying your last name right, but just became a member. And Chris, not only are you a member, but thank you very much for becoming a member. That's lovely. But we're also going to have you on the show. So that's super exciting. In a couple weeks, we have to set a date, but we're going to have a nice chat live together. I'm super excited about that. So welcome. So many levels. It's wonderful to have you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about halfway done the show, and it's time for me to introduce to you our special and amazing guest for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mrs. Jones.
Hello.
So we finally did it. We finally brought you onto the channel, and I thought that the plosive guard's kind of stealing your thunder there.
I'm all right with that.
Okay. We kind of thought Valentine's Day might be a really nice occasion.
Thank you. Yeah,
have
this is
you
how I
on.
get to spend time with you, apparently.
Yeah, right? Besides scheduling. Wow, that was nice noise. Did you hear that? So we got a little Alsatian Riesling.
Love some wine.
We have a little conversation. You know what? Let me switch off with you.
Thank you.
Sure. These cups you guys might be interested in knowing. I picked these up in Venice. So,
Beautiful.
like most things.
Cheers.
Cheers, my love. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so happy Valentine's Day. We're going to do some fun stuff. We have her here. So I thought we could take some questions. I thought we could talk a bit about your own pen journey.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have really fun questions, some of which I took from a few sources, and one I even took from like Oprah.
Okay.
It was like one of those like questions that's to speak about, but nothing that's too bad. So I think you guys will like it. Okay. So when did you encounter your first fountain pen?
Well, it was at primary school, and I can't remember if we were 9 or 10, but we were just kind of deemed old enough to handle a fountain pen in class.
Oh, wow.
And we were so excited. And so we went out to W.H. Smith, if anybody knows it. I think it's gone now, which is really sad. But, is where you bought all your books, a lot of school supplies.
Oh, gotcha.
And
like W.B. Mason.
Kind of,
Okay.
Yeah, but like with more books.
Gotcha.
And just got their starter fountain pen, and we were so psyched. And yeah, that was it. It was plastic. It was red, blue, and green.
Oh, no. Do you remember what kind it was?
It was just their basic starter fountain pen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was plastic, and like it had a metal nib, but it was, it was designed for like...
Sure, like a student pen, like sort of like a Kakuno or something.
Yes, yeah, precisely.
Right. Do you remember which nib you chose, or did it just only have one size?
It just had, it was just one nib. But it was cartridge, of course.
Okay, but it's probably like a fine or something, right?
Yeah, actually, it was more like a medium, I think.
Oh, okay.
I remember my writing being quite chunky with it. Chunky being a technical term.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then, from there, did you stick with them, or did you kind of get off them? Because I know in university you told me you kind of had your Safari.
Yeah, and in throughout high school too, I used a. There was like a Kangol brand, but it was just kind of a cheap pen. Okay. I kind of went in and out with them.
Allie J loves W.H. Smith. By the way.
Oh yeah, it's the best. Yeah, I don't know if it's still around. So kind of on and off, but always liked the writing experience with a fountain pen.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. It's just that sometimes at uni I was a little not disorganized, but kind of throwing things together, and I was rolling into class.
So how many safaris did you go through at uni?
Well, that was just it. After a while, I thought, you know what? Whatever pen I can drag up from the bottom of a bag is fine. So. Oh,
right. So it kind of got you off them.
Yeah. So.
Until we kind of got together and kind of.
Right.
I think the first one that I bought for you was the Vanishing Point.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. and I showed your pen collection to these lovely people, and it was on last week's video at the end.
Mhm.
My favorite of yours that I'm jealous of that you got to it before I did was the Chinese one. And you like went right to that
I did.
and it was like I was
Mhm.
looking at like this vintage Mont Blanc at the time, and
Yeah.
I think the star like just dazzled my eyes, you know. But
Mm.
you focused right on that cloth case because you probably recognized it.
Yes, I did. So of course I had to know what was inside, and it's the most beautiful cloisonne dragon pen. So yeah, I had to
Nice,
pick that up.
nice. And I should say my wife actually is a Asian arts specialist, so she would go right to that.
Yes,
So
I was
pretty
just
interesting stuff.
drawn to it, made a beeline for it.
Nice, nice. And we're getting a lot of Mrs. Jones lyrics. Out there.
Really, I never.
They've
thought...
got a thing going. Do you know that song?
I don't.
Mrs. Jones, you got a thing going
No.
on. I promise not to sing again. It's awful. No. We actually have to have a joke about my singing. That like it's like, okay, Mr. Jones, what part would you like to try out for? Jean Valjean. And then I sing, and then it's like 10 minutes later, Master of the House. You know,
Exactly.
they always give Master of the House to the bad singer.
Yeah, the character parts.
Exactly. Let's see if we have some questions. Do we have any rules about using each other's pens? Do you share ink? Great question, Amy. Let me put it up. Why don't you take that one, Ellie?
That's a good question. Yeah, we don't really have any rules. We have respect for each other's pens.
Right.
But
I'm always like kind of telling you like you should use this. Like I'm kind of pushing mine on you.
Yeah. And I know that if I want to borrow any of them, I can absolutely. I will often ask him to ink up my pens for me because. Wouldn't you if you lived with him?
Sure, and I don't mind. I clean them. I'll do whatever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
So I take advantage of the perk, shall we say?
Oh, so Mummy Brown says that Amy Winehouse does.
Yes, that's the one I like.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
Well, I know the original. So.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to do some questions, and then we can.
All right.
Feel free to hit us with questions too, guys.
Sure.
But I copied some questions down I thought would be funny. So there is a questionnaire that was put together by my friend Bernard Pivot. I always wanted to do James Lipton. So tell me, Helen, what is your favorite word?
Crepuscular.
Crepuscular. That's a good word.
Yeah.
That's the little beams of sunlight that come through the clouds. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Look at you.
It's a great word.
That is a great word.
Yeah.
Let me get back into character. What is your least favorite word?
Probably should.
Should.
Yeah. Lots of
like the missed opportunity?
negative connotations to that. And it doesn't sound great either, but yeah, it's more
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You're good at this. What turns you on?
Ooh, the smell of well-preserved old Japanese paper. It's divine.
What's it smell like? Can you describe it at all?
I don't know if I can do it justice. But it's fragrant. It's fragrant.
Wow.
And
do you know what it was made of? Like, because some paper around the world's made out of cloth.
Yeah, it's usually mulberry pulp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
mulberry bark pulp. Yeah.
Wow. Does my, because I have a Japanese print. Does that smell? Should I go over there and stick my nose in it?
You could, but it's better when it's in a closet or something, and you pull it out, and it hits you. Wow,
that's pretty good.
Thank
you. Thank you. It's good to know.
Yeah.
I'll bottle that.
If you could, I think you could make some money.
Really?
Really.
What sound do you love?
I love the sound of mourning doves cooing in the morning.
Ooh,
yeah.
wow.
And in the afternoon they do it again too.
But not so much the great horned owls that wake us up.
No, they are loud.
They are loud and very rude. I have an answer for this. I've never got to answer it, so I'm going to bust it in there. The sound that I love is the sound of an orchestra as it tunes. You know that moment when you're sitting and then everyone raises their instruments and they're all tuning up and it's dissonant, but then usually comes together in this beautiful orchestra like suspended cord by the end. I love that.
That's a good sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
it really is.
thanks. Yeah. Hey. So, what sound do you hate?
It's a love-hate, but the very Boston specific, but the green line squealing at Boston.
That's funny because I lived on Calm Ave,
Yeah.
and at 5 a.m, all the trains came out of the yard.
Yep.
Oh, that's brilliant!
Yep.
Look at you, and have you lived on any like around it though?
No.
But standing next to it once
well,
is enough.
I've commuted a few times on it, so yeah, it's that you're awake when you hear that sound.
Oh yeah. So Num de Plume's asking, is it washi paper?
Yes, it's washi paper, but it's also just paper. Yeah, just any well preserved paper.
Oh, nice.
Yes, Japanese prints, for example, smell wonderful to me.
All right, I'm going to ask you this question, but be very strategic how you answer because we are monetized and this is a PG show.
I understand.
What's your favorite curse word?
It would be the S word.
The S word.
And a combination, itting, and then something that rhymes with bell with an H. I like that particular combination.
That's good.
That's a real descriptive, I think.
I think that's good. That works.
Yeah.
And I think every member of this channel knows that mine is the F word, which I use liberally in the bloopers, although I do take it out. But you can clearly see what I am saying after I'm like the 8th time trying to say, hello, my name's Hemingway Jones. And then I trip over my own tongue. So pretty fun. Okay, what profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
That's a good question.
I know, Bernard Pivot.
Indeed. Other than mine, what would I like to attempt?
You okay?
I'm good, thank you. Honestly, I'd love to be an editor, I think. If I could read really good writing, and offer some input, and I think I'm in love with the idea of reading books all day, but that appeals to me. That
well,
really
that's
does.
good. Yeah, that sounds fun. So. I see you being really good at that.
I think I could. Yeah, I think it's hard to get into that. I think you have to kind of like
or start your own thing.
That too.
Sure.
Potentially.
What profession would you not like to participate in? Be very careful. People from your work might do that.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I really enjoy my profession. But would I not like to? Probably. I wouldn't want to work at a health insurance company.
Oh, I can see that being tough.
They are not. They don't really care about people. I care about people, so that would be tough for me.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's good. I got some more questions.
Oh boy.
Kind of keep things moving. I think this is fun. I don't see any questions yet. A lot of comments about the smelly paper, which, it's really funny because I think smells. Actually, I was talking about this with Aida a few weeks back. How that Madeline de Proust, right? That you get a smell and it transports you back.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience today to that.
Really?
I was looking in one of my old work ledgers, which is like a journal for work where I take my work notes. And it was from 3 years ago, and it was during the pandemic. And I looked at the ink, and I knew which ink it was, and I knew which pen. And it brought me back into that moment, actually sitting right here, even though I was looking at the book in my office. And it transported me back into the mindset, into the moment, everything. It was vivid. Really transformative and interesting. So, John Manuel asked us a question. I'll let you take this one, so I'm not talking too much.
Where did we meet? At a museum, of course.
Where else? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
At the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum.
Yes.
In Boston.
Yeah, we were both training to be volunteers. So we were essentially in class together, even though we were both grown up, obviously.
Yeah. It was like, 13 years ago?
Yeah.
You were just a wee lass.
Somewhat, yeah.
What's your signature ink? Do you have a signature ink?
Do I? I would have to say, oh gosh, it's the Sailor manual.
Oh, the Sailor manual. Yeah, that's beautiful.
So I could get it. It's over there. I forget.
No, that's okay. I can show them later. It's one that looks like watercolors.
Exactly. It's super light. Yeah. It's got lilac, some green. Oh,
yeah, that's a brilliant one. Yeah. Avec is going to ask you a question I was going to ask you in my further questions, but I'll let him ask you.
What is my favorite book? Ooh, my favorite book is After Dark by Haruki Murakami.
You love Murakami.
I love Murakami. Yeah. I'm a Murakami girl. Yeah, that's... Oh, you know what? Honestly, After Dark, but also 1Q84 too, because that is just a masterpiece.
I remember that when you were reading that.
Yeah. It was a pivotal moment in a way in my life.
John Manuel ordered a new nib. I'm not going to out your story, John, unless you tell me, but I'm really happy to hear that. He told me through email.
Yeah.
He had a bit of a misadventure, but I'm happy to hear you're on the mend. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions here. I got these from Oprah. Literally, it was like O Magazine online. Okay. Do you feel like you look like any actor or notable person?
Do I feel
like you look like one?
I don't feel like I do.
You don't feel like you look like anyone famous.
But
what do you hear?
My good friend at work said that I reminded her of Kate Winslet. And
wow, no, that's a British thing.
Yeah.
I say Lea Seydoux. Yeah. That's who I would say for you.
Yeah, she said I was a combination of the two.
Apparently. Kate Winslet and Lea Seydoux. Yeah, I can see that.
There we go.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. How about me?
You?
I'm just all me.
You're just you. Yeah,
I'm just me. I'm going to ask you this, even though I know the answer to this question.
Okay.
Do you think that ghosts exist?
No.
but...
I don't know. I don't believe really in the traditional concept of a ghost.
Right.
But there's sometimes I think that there's, I don't know if it's rifts in the matrix or something, but there's clearly something going on sometimes. So.
Mommy Brow saying Gretchen Mol.
Really?
And then, my tummy's loud. So Ramen Firehorse says, I see some Judy Greer as well.
Really?
I don't know who Judy Greer is, do you?
No, I gotta be honest. Yeah, I feel like I do, but I don't.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
The ghost thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so something to know about me. I'm very logical, so if I don't shake hands with something, it doesn't exist. It's kind of how I view things, which is funny considering how poetic I am about things. But still. So I don't believe in ghosts, but we have the ghost cat.
We do. There is irrefutably a ghost cat.
We have a ghost cat in this house. And I know it sounds ridiculous, and I don't know what the reason is, but, and I may have spoken about this before a long, long time ago, but literally we'll be in bed and we hear the cat jump, and we have a cat. So we know what cat sounds like.
We're used to cats moving around.
Right. So the cat will jump on the bed and it'll walk across one of us or both of us, and then it's not there. Or we'll be in the bathroom with the light out and it comes up and rubs up against our feet and it's not there. And our actual cat doesn't come around when the ghost cat's around. We can't explain this.
No.
But it seems to be a thing in this house. This house is full of mysteries. Allie J says, what will your daughter's first fountain pen be? It'll be very soon.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
Yeah.
She's almost ready.
What do you think?
Probably the Cocooner, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's better, I think,
Adorable.
I hate to say it to platinum fans, but I think it's better than a platinum
really,
prep.
Yeah. I mean, I could just see that, it's going to be all about the cute face for her. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she'll dig that.
Yeah.
So here's another question for you. Do you remember the first thing you said to me? I wrote this one, actually.
I don't remember the first thing I said to you, but I remember the first thing that you said to me.
It was an answer to the first thing you said to me.
Have you been to Venice? Was that it?
No.
Oh, I like your shoes.
Yes,
it was, I like your shoes.
Yeah, it was.
Because he said to me, my shoes are from Venice.
Yeah, they're from Venice. I bought these in Venice.
And that was all it took. I mean,
yeah, I was trying to impress you. It was so
it
stupid.
worked.
And you like went to Venice for weekends where you grew up. You know, it's so dumb.
No, not quite.
But it was funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
So I just thought I'd ask you that. What's your favorite memory of us?
Ooh.
By the way, Amy D wants a ghost cat.
Oh, I mean,
And
yeah.
Suzanne says cat noir. That's
10
good.
out of 10 would recommend Ghost Cat. You know, great apparition to have.
Yeah. I guess if we're going to have a ghost.
Yeah.
Right? We could have like a scary poltergeist that like spins the house around. And we just have a cat that rubs up against our legs. That's not so bad.
Where were we? Sorry.
Favorite memory of us.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Is it a tough one?
It's a really tough one. I don't think I have a real favorite. I mean, there are some that stand out.
Well, which one stands out?
I remember just before our daughter was born, we went we stopped by Ponyhenge. It's a really beautiful.
Oh, Ponyhenge!
Yeah,
I love
it's a really
Ponyhenge. We got to tell these guys what
kind of
Ponyhenge
back
is.
road. Yeah.
Yeah, you tell them what Ponyhenge is.
How to describe?
All right, I can tell them.
Yeah.
All right, so Ponyhenge is on a back road on the way from, I think, Wayland to Sudbury, Massachusetts. And it's this really lovely road that goes past farms. And there's this plot of grass where there's these children's hobby horses that somebody like dumped one. And then people just kept dumping these hobby horses.
Carousel horses. Just all kinds of like rideable horses.
Is it not a hobby horse?
No, it's...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're all different, you know.
So then people move them around in the shape of Stonehenge, or they'll do them in the shape of a star, and like every time you go by, they'll be in a different position. And the landowner takes care of the property, mows it, and it keeps it there, and it's called Ponyhenge. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
So it's a beautiful landscape, and then, you know, this kind of wacky spot. And I remember we were there just before our daughter's birth, and I don't know, it was kind of like everything's going to change, but it was exciting.
Yeah, it was one of those like poignant moments.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at you. I'm sorry, I didn't have like a nice chair for you. Gwyneth Paltrow, huh?
Oh, very nice, thank you.
You like everyone.
Everyone much.
I wrote this one.
Okay.
If you could invent a cologne for me, what would it smell like?
See, aforementioned Japanese paper. But, yeah, I think maybe some paper with a hint of leather, and maybe some like petrichor, like some rain.
Ooh,
that would be
nice. I think my own, I would be probably like sandalwood, barber.
Oh yeah.
And leather.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Even though I actually wear women's perfume.
It's really good though.
Yeah.
It's I'd say it's unisex. It's amber.
Well, I thought it was unisex until until Flora sent me, like, you know, they said the exciting fragrance for women. So we have a question here from Christopher McCullough. Where does your lovely accent originate? Nobody ever asked me that.
That's a very good question. And the answer is several places. I was born here in the US. I grew up in the UK, but I lived in the South for about, half my childhood, and then moved to the North for the rest of my childhood. So I have quite the combination of Southern British, Northern British, and then, of course, American as well. So
I always think your accent's really great because you have an English accent, but you pronounce a lot of words in an American way. Yes.
I think I've done that to kind of survive professionally and also living here. It gets very wearing when people say to you, all the time, like, I'm sorry, or what was that? Yeah. Or people just don't seem to catch what you're saying. So, yeah, I think a little bit of that has been to accommodate people.
I can see even my going from Philly to Boston, I had a bit of that because you have a rotaric and a non-rotaric society. So, if you could be a curator of any museum, which would it be? Any museum.
Oh,
I'd stay out of St. Petersburg. While you're thinking about that, I'll answer Gin Talus. Which scent do I wear? It's called Sol Ambar from Floris. And they sent it to me as a sample when I bought the cologne that James Bond wears, which is number 89. So I just assumed it was a guy fragrance, and we both liked it. So I still wear it. I'm very comfortable in that. So, which museum?
Back to museums. Honestly, I would love to be a curator at the Gardner Museum because it means so much to me personally. I just love the woman, the vision. I'd love to see. Thank you.
Your little ASMR.
There we go. Yeah. I'd love to see some aspects of her collection explored that haven't really been explored thus far. So.
Oh, that's a good answer. Here's a fun one. You have to get a tattoo this weekend. What do you get?
This
and
weekend?
Where? You have to. It's like a law.
Have to get one.
Yeah.
Well, I did have a dream about having a stained glass window tattooed on my foot once.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so perhaps I might make that one happen. I imagine it would be quite painful getting a stained glass window on your foot, but it looked really cool. Yeah, I think feet do hurt because your bones are right there. So yeah.
That's cool. I want that death's head. The
really,
Memento Mori.
That was the other one that came to mind. Yeah. That would be.
We have matching Memento Mori pins on our favorite barber jackets. It's kind of funny. So, yeah, I covered most of these, but I wanted to get some of these from the New York Times in the book section, which I think you might like.
Yeah.
Which books are on your nightstand?
Currently, Murakami, Killing Commendatory. I am late to the game on that one, but it's been a little hard to read these past few years. But yeah, I'm enjoying that one at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the last great book you read?
The last great book I read? I read a really good one, but I'm having book amnesia right now. Well, of course. But I also read Babel by R.F. Kuang, and that was quite the read.
Oh yeah, you were saying.
Yeah. I there were times I loved it. There were times I didn't love it, but it was still, it's a fantastic read.
What made you not like it? Just because of what people were doing, or did it fail?
Yeah, no, I think it was challenging. The decisions that the characters made were challenging, but also it couldn't have been any other way. You know what I mean? She really, it made sense. But it was hard to accept at times.
Oh, yeah. But if it follows, it has to follow.
It followed.
When people do stuff and it's out of the blue just to be twisty, they lose me. Are there any classic novels that you just read?
I haven't read any classics in a while.
Wow. Because I have an answer for this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Brideshead Revisited. I remember I read that like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's pretty late. Like, most people are on Brideshead when they're a teenager and carrying a teddy bear around and all that. And I just got on that one late.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to dig into the classics.
I think so. I think I'll probably do a Jane Austen reread at some point soon. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one. Amy Alphabet. What's your favorite Hemingway? Is that you or me?
I think that might have to be you. I'm not much of a Hemingway.
Have you ever read any Hemingway?
I've read some excerpts, but I don't think I've ever read.
I have reading copies. You're welcome to dig in.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to.
I really like For Whom the Bell Tolls. I feel like it's the best war movie you've ever read. It's very cinematic. It's very emotional. It has a lot of heart. And it just blows you away by the end, and you really care about the characters. So that's probably my favorite Hemingway book, or at least I think it's his best. So, Jean Manuel's asking, what's your favorite genre of movies? But I'm just going to twist this a little, John, if you don't mind. Maybe you could say your genre, but then also say what's your favorite movie.
I don't really have a favorite genre. At least I don't know how you would describe it, because I enjoy movies that move at a snail's pace and are
You like weird movies.
focused. Yeah, weird movies
Mhm.
that are focused on cinematography, beautiful scenes. That's what I.
Right, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you liked Crimes of the Future, and you
Yes.
would watch that 10 times over before you'd ever watch Maverick.
Yes, correct. I have
Yeah.
no. In fact, I have no idea what Maverick is.
That's
I
the
know
Tom
what
Cruise
top,
sequel.
top, yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely. I love thought-provoking, slow-paced, immersive movies are my favorite.
Exactly.
Weird movies. Weird people.
Exactly. What do you think my favorite movie is?
The Third Man.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
The Third Man.
yeah.
Well done. And some other movies I love is like Big Trouble in Little China, Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
And then I like a lot of classic films. Like, I love Apocalypse Now. I'm kind of obsessed with that. And I like Humphrey Bogart, a lot of his older stuff. So, and I like weird movies too. We like horror movies. We watch a lot of horror movies.
Again, I'd rather watch a bad horror movie.
Like, what was that? Barbarians? What was that we watched? It was so fun.
Yeah.
The Barbarians?
I think it was just Barbarian.
Barbarian. It was so good. What's your ideal reading experience?
Ideal reading. Do you mean like sort of scenario situation?
Yeah, the way the New York Times does it, it's like,
Yeah.
like, I mean, imagine if you had free time.
Yeah.
As a parent.
Okay.
Yeah, just
all right.
imagine, if you will, a world where you can,
Yeah, I see. Yes. So I would love to. I love reading on our. We have a really nice porch, a fresh breeze, the wind rustling in the trees, dappled light, a few birds, nice cold gin and tonic, some elderflower. I think that would be it right there.
That sounds pretty amazing. I'm down for that. Favorite book that no one has heard of?
Favorite book that no one has heard of? I did not come prepared.
I have one for this. I can fill in while you think. Yeah, it's Ancient Rome on 5 denarii a day. It's the strangest little book that's full of actual information about Rome that I didn't know. Like that Rome had a banking system that you could come in with like some gold and go into a bank. They call it like a bank, like a counter. Mm-hmm. Hand it to a guy. He would literally like write you a check. He'd take a certain percentage. And then you could go to like Alexandria and hand it to a corresponding office that would recognize it, honor it, and give you some gold back less the fee. Mm-hmm. You just don't think of that kind of sophistication in Rome, but they were able to do that. They were also able to send messages back and forth in the entire empire pretty quickly, like in days, not in like months. And they had signal towers, they had riders. So this book describes what it'd be like to be an upper class Roman citizen mostly, and traveling around. It's pretty neat. Highly recommend it. Do you hear my stomach?
Yeah, are you okay?
I hope so. It's like a third interview in here.
Exactly.
I just figured I had to say it was me in case people are picking it up and they're like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm very loud today. I don't know what's going on. What book would people be surprised is on your shelves?
Maybe the manga version of Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's adorable though, and you can never have too many Pride and Prejudice versions.
Yeah, that's a really good one. What about this is one I like to ask people is what is the most embarrassing music that would be in like a playlist you have, or like what's your like guilty pleasure when it comes to music?
So it might be embarrassing for some, but I am a huge Enya girl. I grew up on her. I think her first album, The Celts, completely slaps. Like it goes so hard. Yeah. So I have a playlist in my Spotify that's called, I think it's Unironic Enya. So nice. It just embraces my life.
All things Enya. Oh, I like that. I think for me, musically, it would be the musicals that I'm into. Yes. I think people would be surprised that I love Phantom of the Opera. Yeah. I love Les Miserables. I love this musical called Martin Guerre, which like played for like a year. And maybe like John Denver.
Yeah.
That's kind of like,
Yeah.
right.
But, solid still.
Yeah, you can like what you like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you can like.
Oh, here's another vote for Enya.
Yes.
That's brilliant.
Enya Crew Unite.
Enya forever. This is a funny one, but I think it's a kind of a good conversation. Is how do you organize your books?
How do I don't. It's chaos.
It's a shame, right? Because
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, our books were kind of organized.
Yeah.
It was like they start out. It's almost like a garden.
Yeah.
Right. They start, and then they started growing and overflowing.
The fiction patch, but then it spilled into the history.
Yeah.
Just.
And we're going to probably pull them all down and reorganize them at some point.
But very, very vaguely by category and by size, because it's based on the shelf size. So the big art books are on the bottom, and the smaller paperbacks are in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. The art books have to be on the bottom. So you're organizing a literary dinner party, and you can have any 3 guests, living or dead. Who do you invite?
Literary, like strictly literary.
Let's get rid of literary. Let's just say you're having a dinner party, and you can invite any 3 people, alive or dead. Who do you invite?
Definitely Murakami.
Well, he's still around, so.
Well, I know, but he's coming.
Yeah.
Would he like to come on the show?
Right.
Maybe Oscar Wilde.
Oh, he's witty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be interesting.
He'd bring that spark to the conversation. And then just like a wild card, maybe Shakespeare, because I just would love to
know the secrets and stuff, right?
Exactly. Just know that history.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
So I stuck with somewhat literary.
Now, the Technoraptors, this is interesting. It's not really a question now. This is kind of a question to everyone. What kind of pet do most fountain pen users have? I see mostly cats for some reason. I feel kind of that fountain pens is kind of a cat hobby.
I could see that.
But because dogs and eating pens would be a bad combination. But then cats can be jerks and they can knock them off the table. She's done that on me.
They do that.
Yeah. And not the ghost one, but.
No, the regular one.
Wolverine's asking where our kid is.
She's asleep.
Yeah, she's asleep.
Upstairs.
She said it's her birthday tomorrow too, by the way. Yeah. That's where my wife usually is while I do the live show, is putting my daughter to bed. So it's like so much of this channel is done in the cracks of our life. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I mean, maybe that's something we could talk about real quick, because I don't want to keep people on for too long. But so much of the channel and how we create it, and we create it, both of us, it's done in the cracks, because I have a full-time job that's like 50 hours a week, in the banking world. So she puts our daughter to bed and I do the live show. But if I wasn't doing the live show, I'd be editing a video right now. In fact, I have footage I need to edit for the Pineider Avatar twin tank touchdown first impression. I'm just saying that just to challenge myself. Yeah. Right. But also, even on weekends, sometimes it's not planned. Helen is my human gimbal. So all the beautiful B-roll she shoots, she keeps it more stable. We actually have a gimbal and we don't use it. She is more stable than the gimbal. So she does a great job with the B-roll. But the funny part is that a lot of it is us doing stuff as a family, where we'll just say, well, let's go to Concord and do X, Y, and Z. And then I'll be like, you know what? I really need to film something. Yeah. Let me grab some pens, and then maybe I'll dress up a little.
Yeah.
And then we go have the day we're going to have, spend about an hour of it shooting. My daughter.
Not even that sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes not even.
Yeah, because usually, she's a little over it.
Yeah, she's 6.
Yeah.
So 6 as of tomorrow. But then even something like the fairies and fountain pens video, that was a family night that I just grabbed that pen and we filmed for 20 minutes and we were there for 2 hours.
Yeah, there was so much to shoot. It was super easy to.
Yeah. And then a lot of time on weekends when my daughter's having her downtime, I'll be like, hey guys, can you just stay quiet? And I come into the library and I film and they hear me. And sometimes when I'm filming, I can hear them, they can hear me. And it's not ideal, but we just do whatever it takes to get it done. Yeah. Right? So it's kind of a lot of fun, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll cheers to that.
Cheers. I hope I reach my goal of
I
5,000
know.
subscribers. We're going to keep on
So
talking
close.
all night
It
until
was
we
like
do.
4.99 when I joined.
Sincerely?
Yeah.
Like one more to go?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you to whomever did that, because I didn't think we would, but thank you. They say happy birthday, Junior Jones.
Aw.
That's nice. She is
Thank you.
sound asleep right now.
Yeah. She had a
she's
great Valentine's Day. And
She
she's
did.
excited about tomorrow. So.
she got pens, but they weren't fountain pens. She got metallic pens and sparkly highlighters from Jet Pens. Yep.
Everybody loves Jet Pens.
Everybody loves Jet Pens. I'll give them a plug, even though I am unaffiliated. But absolutely brilliant stuff. So good stuff, guys, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably time to wrap up, even though I'm having fun. What do you think?
This is fun, but yeah.
Was it more fun? How was it?
It was super fun. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I was a little anxious, but everyone's so nice. I sometimes hang out in the comments, and everyone's so respectful and nice. And
Yeah, they're the best.
yeah, so it's such a nice group. I was happy to come on.
Yeah, the people that come to this channel are the absolute best.
Yeah.
Here's to you guys.
Yeah.
Sincerely.
I agree with that.
Here's to you, my love.
Cheers.
Happy
to you as well.
Valentine's
Happy
Day.
Valentine's.
It's pretty good.
That's great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're at the end. We could go on, but we said it all.
Almost. Well, yeah.
We'll have you on again, but lots of exciting stuff coming up on the channel. So thank you all so much. And if you're watching this, please subscribe. Trying to get to 5,000. So happy Valentine's Day. Take care, everyone. Good night.